Some days I'd be willing to trade my man for a really good what?
Pool boy.
She came down with her girlfriend.
Yeah.
When I saw her, I quit breathing.
He stopped the show, actually.
Hey everyone. It seems like there's some serious drama unfolding between Steve and Marjorie Harvey. Rumor has it that Marjorie cheated on Steve, not once, but twice with two different guys. And if that's not messy enough, Twitter is buzzing with gossip that she might be gearing up for a divorce, aiming for a big slice of Steve's wealth. But here's the kicker. Marjorie's daughter Lori is apparently taking her mom's side and pointing fingers at Steve for being a lousy husband. Can you believe it? So, what exactly did Lori say? Well, you better stick around because what you're about to hear is going to be quite a shocker.
Let me say, I'm fine. Marjorie's fine. I don't know what y'all doing, but find something else to do. 'Cause we fine.
Alright folks, you're probably aware of all the talk surrounding Steve Harvey and Marjorie's marriage, right? It's been a hot topic for a while, and many have questioned if it's really as perfect as it seems. Well, hold on to your seats because the recent revelations have been nothing short of shocking. Multiple sources are saying that Marjorie has been involved with several different men, including Steve's bodyguard and their personal chef. Now, that's quite a bombshell, especially considering Steve's reputation as a relationship expert. He's even told People magazine recently that Marjorie completely transformed his view on relationships and marriage. He admitted that he had never been faithful or in a truly healthy adult relationship before Marjorie. Can you believe it? This man just confessed to being quite the cheater for a long time. Now, here's where things get really interesting. The suspicions about their marriage didn't just come out of thin air. It's all tied to their rather unique past and how their relationship unfolded. Steve and Marjorie's story begins back in the 1990s, and it was like a love story straight out of a movie. At least for Steve. They crossed paths when Marjorie attended one of Steve's comedy shows, and he was smitten from the get-go. But we can't say for sure how Marjorie felt about him back then. They stayed in touch for a few weeks, but Marjorie eventually decided not to pursue the relationship any further. Why, you ask? Well, here's the juicy part. At that time, Steve was a struggling comedian, trying to make ends meet. He hadn't quite hit the jackpot yet. Marjorie, on the other hand, had been involved with not one, but two drug dealers who showered her with lavish gifts and loads of cash. So, she wasn't about to settle for someone who didn't have the financial security she was used to. What's even more intriguing is that both Steve and Marjorie were already married at the time, but their marriages didn't stand in the way of what was to come next. Now, here's where it gets even messier. At the time, Steve was married to Mary Shackelford, and she had been incredibly supportive of his career. She had even invested her entire life savings to help him set up his very first comedy club. Yet, once Steve found success, he left Mary behind. As for Marjorie, did you know that Steve is her third husband? Yep, you heard that right. Before Steve, she had been married to two different drug dealers. So it's not surprising that when Steve was struggling financially, Marjorie wasn't interested. Her first husband was a man named Jim Townsend, who was also the father of her first two children. Unfortunately, Jim got into trouble when he tried to buy a whopping 40 kilos of illegal substances. Things got even more tangled when we look at Marjorie's past. While she was expecting her second child, Jason, authorities suspected her involvement in Jim's illegal activities. However, she denied any wrongdoing, and Jim even took a plea deal to clear her name. Soon after Jim was sentenced to prison, Marjorie divorced him, but the drama didn't stop there. Marjorie then married another man, Darnell Woods, who is believed to be Lori's biological father. But just like Jim, Darnell also found himself in legal trouble, and once again, Marjorie divorced him after he went to prison. So you can see why people have some reservations about her. Her history with two drug dealers, her initial reluctance to date Steve when he was struggling, and her affair with him while he was still married have left some folks questioning her intentions. Many wonder if she would have given Steve a chance if he hadn't become the millionaire he is today. But despite any doubts, Steve was over the moon when Marjorie gave their relationship a second chance. They tied the knot in 2007, and it's no secret that Steve is head over heels for her, showering her with expensive gifts and luxuries. What's truly remarkable is that Steve legally adopted Marjorie's children, giving them his last name. Marjorie's reasoning behind this decision was to distance her kids from their biological father's illegal activities, especially since those fathers were serving prison sentences. She wanted her children to have a fresh start, and having a wealthy new father figure made it even better. Let's not forget to mention how much Steve adores her kids, especially Lori. Many have noticed that it's quite evident Steve loves Lori even more than his own biological children.
Now, Lori, what do you have to say?
One of my favorite moments was when I was about 15 years old and I told you I wanted to start dating. So you took me on one of our annual father-daughter dates to my favorite Japanese restaurant. And you just started talking to me about guys, and you just told me that you always supported me and you'd always be there for me no matter what, and you loved me unconditionally, and I just really appreciate you for that.
Steve's deep love for Marjorie is undeniable. He takes care of her and her kids financially, going as far as giving her children his last name and ensuring they are included in his will. This level of commitment is remarkable. However, when rumors circulated that Marjorie may have been unfaithful to their marriage, it created quite a stir. Some couldn't help but recall the saying, "What goes around, comes around," especially considering Steve's own history of infidelity in previous marriages. What adds a unique twist to this situation is the alleged involvement of Steve's bodyguard. Interestingly, the bodyguard had played a role in reuniting Marjorie and Steve after years apart. Steve had previously shared that his bodyguard remembered Marjorie and encouraged him to pursue a relationship with her because she was the one who made him genuinely happy. So it was surprising to learn that the same man who had once helped bring them together was now reportedly having an affair with Marjorie. Rumors even suggest that Marjorie might be gearing up for a divorce, seeking a share of Steve's wealth. And if you thought the drama couldn't get any more intense, brace yourself for this. Reportedly, Marjorie is setting her sights on a substantial settlement. She's reportedly seeking a whopping 50% of Steve's astonishing $400 million net worth, which translates to an eye-popping $200 million. In her divorce petition, she has alleged that Steve was unfaithful and was involved in marital misconduct. But that's not all. She's also aiming to secure primary custody of their two youngest children, Winton and Carly. The shocking news of this alleged affair caused quite a commotion online, with people discussing and critiquing Steve and Marjorie. In response, Steve has come forward to deny these allegations, saying,
Let me say, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Marjorie's fine. I don't know what y'all doing, but find something else to do. 'Cause we fine.
Even Marjorie took to her Instagram to address these rumors, writing, "My husband and I don't usually stop to address all the foolishness and lies that have been spread about us. However, to whom much is given, much is required. I understand that with my platform comes some sort of responsibility to those who may not be as strong as we are." However, the story doesn't conclude just yet. According to reports, Marjorie's daughter Lori appears to be rather displeased with Steve's handling of the situation. She feels that he could have stepped up sooner to protect Marjorie's reputation and prevent these rumors from gaining momentum, which subsequently led to her facing harsh criticism online. Sources claim that Lori strongly believed Steve should have taken immediate action to quash these rumors instead of allowing them to linger for days before responding. This delay in addressing the issue has seemingly caused friction within the family. Despite Steve's denial, some fans remain skeptical and have left comments expressing their doubts. One fan wrote, "He said I'm fine. He never said the rumors were false, so it is true it happened." Another person chimed in and said, "Wait, does that mean the rumors is real? Still don't want to believe it until I get a close hit-up info." Another person states, "Yeah, that's not really shutting down any rumors. Just seems like he's telling us he's fine no matter what she's done. So who knows?" I mean, who can really say what's happening behind the scenes in the Harvey household? While some folks are convinced that Marjorie cheated and Steve was in the know, others are tossing around the theory that maybe Steve is putting on a front, defending his wife's honor because, let's face it, divorce can be a financial doozy. But here's the big question. What's your take on all of this? Do you reckon Marjorie and Steve are about to part ways any day now? Don't keep us in suspense. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And while we eagerly await more developments, be sure to catch our next video where we dig up even more Hollywood drama. Stay tuned.